is. Look at that. Thought he got away with it. Here comes the lights. The lights are back on. And after attempting to dump the vehicle...
Welcome to Viral Twist. A man tried to escape the police in total darkness. No headlights, no taillights, and clearly no common sense. He forgot the sky has eyes. He did such crazy things during the chase that you won't believe it until you see it.
Continuing the pursuit, going the opposite way on Cooner. Blacked out, stolen vehicle. You can see that night sun from LAPD. He is now in Ventura's jurisdiction in Simi Valley. Now heading the opposite direction, going southbound on Cooner, back towards the 118, under the 118 freeway, and again heading now, continuing south through Simi Valley. We are on the eastern edge of Simi Valley, just south of the 118 freeway. Where is that? So he's now gone all the way back into Santa Susana Pass. So taking a live look at Santa Susana Pass Road as he's made his way through the eastern edge of Simi Valley, now continuing south and eventually southeast back towards the 118 freeway, towards Rocky Peak, or potentially Box Canyon Road. He has the option of taking Box Canyon south or heading up the pass back to the 118 freeway, which will take him eventually back into the San Fernando Valley, or he could take it westbound back into Simi. He's got a number of options coming up here, but for the time being, as he traverses Santa Susana Pass Road, he is pretty much in no man's land in the middle of nowhere near Rocky Peak. You can see that night sun from that LAPD airship overhead. So far, only LAPD involved in this, even though he was in Simi Valley's jurisdiction. The pursuit now continuing of a stolen vehicle out of the San Fernando Valley. This was on the 101 freeway. He got off at Topanga Canyon, took it northbound all the way to the 118, and we might be heading right back to where he came from. But over the course of this pursuit, in the last 20 minutes, he has ran a number of red lights, at times going the wrong way on surface streets. Here comes the 118 freeway, and we'll see what he does here. Just off the nose here, he's going to have a decision to make in the next couple of minutes. Once again, if you're just joining us on abc7.com and our 24/7 streaming apps, Chris Christie up in Air 7 HD as we continue to follow this LAPD pursuit, which started in the San Fernando Valley, off of the 101 freeway, eventually up to the 118 into Simi Valley, now reversing course here and continuing on Santa Susana Pass, where he is approaching Topanga Canyon Boulevard back in the San Fernando Valley. He has disregarded every rule of the road, and he is doing so in pitch black darkness without any headlights or taillights, no brake lights to speak of here. You can see a spike strip set up there. It looks like he was able to get around that, now going southbound on Topanga Canyon, where there is going to be a few more cars on the road here. We are seeing a lot of law enforcement, not only behind him, but in his path. That's been going on for the last several minutes. A lot of law enforcement set up ahead of him. There has to be at least a dozen units dedicated to this pursuit right now as they try and stop him. Again, that was what appeared to be a failed spike strip attempt. Picking up a little speed here. Again, he hasn't stopped for many lights, but so far it's all greens on Topanga Canyon Boulevard, hugging that left lane there, at times even going the wrong way in the earlier parts of this pursuit. And there you see it once again over the paint as he just weaves around anybody in his way. Again, continuing southbound through Chatsworth. A turn off of Satakoy into a residential neighborhood, coming back northbound towards us. Again, noticeably in the pitch black darkness of this residential neighborhood with his headlights and taillights off. Into a parking spot, possibly. There he is. Look at that. Thought he got away with it. Here comes the lights. The lights are back on. And after attempting to dump the vehicle, he has changed his mind. He has changed his mind. The lights came on, and he has recalculated. Going to be very interesting to see how this affects his driving. If he's going to continue this pursuit, now spooked by that night sun, we'll see if he picks up a little bit of speed here. Again, we believe, difficult to say if anybody else got out of the vehicle there, but we believe that there are still two people inside the vehicle. Looks like the passenger's still in that passenger seat. Driver continuing this pursuit. Again, this is not technically a pursuit anymore, but still leading police on a joyride here that is now in tracking mode, with the airship doing a bulk of the work here. Again, this is a grand theft auto suspect who has been driving very dangerously now for the better part of a half hour. And you gotta wonder what is going through his mind now. Back on Reseda Boulevard, northbound Reseda, just past Nordhoff Hospital, continuing once again, right around the speed limit. At times, maybe speeding up a little bit here, but for the most part, you can see he's doing about the same speed, maybe just a little bit over, as I mentioned, as he passes some of this traffic here. Anytime there's anybody in front of him, he immediately jumps over the double yellow lines into oncoming lanes at times, just to get around traffic. Again, there's nobody really pursuing him here, but he is desperate to keep moving. Definitely picking up a little more speed here as he continues northbound Reseda Boulevard through Lassen Street, back in the, let's call it I want to say it's back in Granada Hills, sort of. Still south of the 118 freeway. He's approaching the 118 here probably in the next minute or two. So we'll see if he gets back on the freeway or continues north into Porter Ranch. In any event, he is continuing to drive fairly recklessly at a higher rate of speed than anybody would be comfortable with. And it would not surprise me at all to see if LAPD decides to re-engage here. And if not LAPD, if he does decide to get on the freeway, if he gets on the 118, California Highway Patrol will have a decision to make. And I would not be surprised at all if they engage this grand theft auto suspect again, who has been driving pretty dangerously and with not that much traffic on the freeway, a much safer terrain for them to pick up this pursuit once again if they choose to do so. So LAPD's air support right there. Night sun off, but you saw he wasn't afraid to use it. The minute that driver stepped out of the vehicle, lights came on and away he went, back in the vehicle. And again, look at that. There's a patrol unit. That's CHP actually right there at the interchange. Cross traffic, a close call there. Through the red light, a close call with several vehicles crossing the intersection, and he is continuing northbound past the 118, and this is now Reseda Boulevard, just north of Rinaldi is where we are in Porter Ranch. Slowing down, the vehicle slowing down. These turns are appearing much more random, and the vehicle now coming to a stop. And there comes the night sun. We'll see if he steps out of the vehicle or continues the pursuit. We have got to wonder at this point whether he is running out of gas. Doors open, driver's side door is open. Suspect pulling up his pants and now going to go for a run to see if he can hide out in this neighborhood. We are at Amistoy and Raymore. Through the neighborhood, and we'll see if LAPD's airship can keep a close eye on him there. Very difficult with all of the trees and foliage as he now runs through this neighborhood. It'll be interesting to see. Yeah, he does not know where he's going. I was wondering maybe he's familiar with the area, maybe he lives here or knows somebody, but he is now running through somebody's front yard. Appears to be a complete stranger. Jumping fences, and away we go here, continuing to trot through these front yards. Just off of Amistoy, the pursuit coming to an end, but no law enforcement set to take over this foot pursuit, they're going to have to move into position because now he could pose a real danger if he decides to break into somebody's house, God forbid. So we'll see if he finds a hiding spot here or potentially resorts to some other measures here. Now jumping a wall, it looks like, heading into somebody's backyard. No, didn't jump it. He didn't jump it. Still in front of this house, running out of steam here, maybe prepared to give up. There he is. And police pulling into position. The driver proned out in the driveway. And now it looks like this has come officially to an end. They will methodically take him into custody here in the next several seconds.